Well, it gets started in 1954 out of a desire to promote contactee lectures in the Motor City in Detroit. And the prime mover behind this was a guy named Henry Madday. And Henry Madday was in his, I believe, his late 30s in the 1950s, and he was an editor for one of the big city directories that existed. This confused the heck out of me when I first learned this because I had no idea what a city directory was. I was like, is it a phone book or not really a phone book, although it did have phone numbers. Basically, it went down and listed all the professional people in the city and their businesses and how you could get a hold of them and what their business was. It was like a promotional tool for businesses. And Henry Madday worked for a company that produced these city directories in Detroit. He was also the person who ran a an organization called the Detroit Truth Forum. I almost forgot the name of it. The Detroit Truth Forum. And throughout the late 1940s and into the 1950s, the Detroit Truth Forum, which I'm pretty sure was just Henry Madday, presented a wide variety of lectures and presentations in Detroit about different topics, usually psychological, spiritual, some usually associated with new thought and that kind of field. I've got an ad here from I think 1950, whatever year it was a leap year because it was February 29th, but I think it's 1950. David Seabury and Dorcas Palmer, two noted psychologists, speaking on Can Men and Women Understand Each Other? Followed by audience participation. I actually think that would be a pretty interesting topic, but presented at the Masonic Temple in Detroit, which is a huge venue. So in 1954, Henry Madday is having a party at his house. And among the people there are this couple here on the left, um, Bryant and Helen Reeve. Bryant Reeve had just retired from an automotive company where he was an engineer, and he and his wife were interested in religious and spiritual topics. And they come to this party, and they would write about this in a book later, a book called Flying Saucer Pilgrimage. They go to this party, and Henry is extremely excited because he's got a new book that he's found. It's called Flying Saucers Have Landed by George Adamski and Desmond Leslie. Now, as you might know, this was the first UFO flying saucer contactee book. Um, Adamski argued, asserted, claimed that he had a personal physical contact with a blonde-haired, blue-eyed guy in a silver jumpsuit out near Desert Center, California. And he's been receiving messages and communication from these people, and he had a message of cosmic hope and love for everybody. And Henry was just taken away by this, and so were Bryant and Helen once they heard about it. And at this party, just a little house party in Detroit, Henry Madday gets on the phone, gets on to the operator, and wants to be connected to George Adamski in California so he can invite him out to Detroit to tell his story to him and his friends and whoever else will be there. Well, apparently Adamski did not have a phone at the time, so it took a couple days to get a hold of him. But Madday did, and brought Adamski to Detroit to speak to a small group at the Detroit Institute of Arts, one of their auditoriums there. By this time, this group of flying saucer promoters included another woman, Laura Mundo Marxer, also mostly known as Laura Mundo.